Holy guacamole, Coinbase and Square reported earnings yesterday, and Square is up 20% today. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Square and Coinbase. You guys know I invest in Square but not in Coinbase yet. Still, I have been tracking their company and their stock as I use their platform to invest in cryptocurrencies. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing and smashing that like button since it really helps the channel out. But let's get started. First of all, we can see here that the stock is trading at $113 per share, which is up 19% currently, and the year to date is down still 31%. As we can see, the start of the year at $164 per share, but in the past year is down 50.53%. Since its peak is down 59%, creating very nice opportunities for these companies, even though many believe that it is not a good time or a good company to invest in the long term. I do believe that it's still very innovative and very good investment in the long term, depending on your average cost or the price that you enter or start your position. First of all, we can see the Square stock rises on Cash App outlook as earnings top estimates. Square parent block reported December quarter earnings, net revenue, and gross payment volume that topped analyst estimates despite slowing growth for consumers' Cash App services. The thing is that Cash App had 44 million active monthly users at the end of December, up from 40 million in June. The company said Cash App growth slowed less than expected in the fourth quarter, which is good news because, as they said, fears that Cash App users would not outlast stimulus checks seem to have been overblown as user and engagement metrics look strong. Gross profit per monthly active grew 13% year over year to $49 in the fourth quarter. They had an increase for a growth in revenue of 62% to $4.42 billion, boosted by Cash App transactions for digital cryptocurrencies, Bitcoins. Analysts had predicted a revenue of $4.04 billion, which is excellent news for these companies, which is why the stock is up that much today. Still, their adjusted revenue grew 54% to $1.4 billion, topping analyst estimates of $1.34 billion. Gross payment volume from merchants customers rose 92%. But let's check the letter of shareholders letter. First of all, we can see the revenue was $4.07 billion, as we said, all the way up from $3.1 billion year over year, and on a yearly basis they reported $17.66 billion in revenue, all the way up from $9.49 billion. Now we can see the different revenues that they have. From transaction-based revenue grew from $929 million to $1.3 billion. Their subscriptions and services grew as well from $449 to $772 million. Their hardware revenue grew a little bit as well from $24 to $39 million, and last but not least, their Bitcoin revenue, which is their highest one at the moment, grew from 1.7 to 1.9 billion. Still, even though it's one of their highest at the moment, it's not the most profitable yet. As we can see here, that the transaction basis cost was 769 million, and they were able to report a revenue of 1.3 billion dollars. But the subscription and services is also profitable, as they only had to spend 149 million to make 772 million dollars. They are not profitable. Their hardware business is not profitable at all, as we can see here. They spend a lot of money to make a little only, but their Bitcoin revenue or business is profitable, but just a little bit. They spent $1.91 billion in order to make $1.96 billion, which obviously is not a huge gross margin at the moment. Still, after all that, they reported a gross profit of $1.18 billion, all the way up from $803 million. So they have been having a nice revenue in their total revenue, and a nice growth in their total revenue and their gross profit as well. Still, after all their expenses, they reported an operating loss of $54.6 million, which is obviously not that good, as they reported an operating income last year of $45 million. But we do have to take into consideration that on a yearly basis they are doing quite well, as they reported an operating income of $161 million. Now, you guys know that I invest in this company. I've been investing in this company for about 2 or 3 years already, and I added in the past month. I added on February 16th and on February 23rd. The lowest that I added was when it was at $91.75 per share, but I have been adding in January as well at $144, $111, and $116, and then $91 per share. At this moment, my position is currently down 23.80%. As you can see, it represents 3.78% of my portfolio, and I have an average cost of $149 per share, which I have been trying to get down by adding during this crash that we have been seeing in the market. And now that the stock is up that much today, I will not add today because it is 20% up, but I still like today's prices as I have been adding at $111 per share before. So we can see here their graph is looking very crazy. We can see that it was bouncing up and down back in 2020 and 2021, but back in October 2021 it started dropping and crashing until yesterday that it bounced. As we can see here, it went up from $85, which is when it closed at $82.78, to $119 per share. Obviously, it is now going down. As we can see here in the 1 hour chart, it was able to break this downturn trend line that we see here, but I would wait for this to be a confirmation that the stock is actually recovering. I do have to say that this was an excellent break from this trend line, but I would wait for it to be more of a strong break at the moment, but still I'm not mad at it. On the other side, we have Coinbase that also reported earnings yesterday, and we can see that right now the stock is down 1.68%, and year to date is down 29.68%, but in the past year is down 46%, as since its peak is down 50.60%. Now, Coinbase posts big revenue beat but expects trading volume to fall in the first quarter. Mainly, I would assume it is because of what cryptocurrencies is doing right now. Cryptocurrencies are crashing just like the stock market, and people tend to not buy when things are going down. Don't really know why, but it is mainly because of the psychology of investing, in which we don't want to buy when things are going down, because it is really stressful to buy today when Bitcoin is at $35,000, and then tomorrow it opens at $30,000, which is many people trying to time the market, which is not a good thing to do. But that is why I believe they are expecting their trading volume to fall in this first quarter. Now, they were able to beat analyst expectations as they reported earnings per share of $3.32 per share versus $1.85 expected, and the revenue was $2.5 billion versus $1.94 billion expected. They are also expecting the subscription and service revenue to be lower in the current quarter because of falling crypto asset prices, as I said at the beginning, which is completely normal to see in this kind of industries. And it is actually time to take this as an opportunity to invest in this company if you've been wanting to. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do. Now we can see here that their key metrics, their trading volume was way higher on their institutional customers, was $1.1 billion in trading volume for the institutionals and only $535 million for the retail. So about half of what institutions are doing. And we can see that the trading volume for us percentage, people are trading way more other cryptos instead of Bitcoin and Ethereum, mainly other cryptos and then Bitcoin, and last but not least Ethereum. But then we can see that their net revenue is coming mainly from their retail investors, which was $6.4 billion at the moment for the retail, and $346 million for the institutional investors. Which I assume it is mainly because retails do way more transactions on a daily basis than institutions, and that's why their net revenue is coming way more from retail than institutions. But the subscription and services revenue is mainly from their blockchain rewards, then custodial fee revenue, earned campaign revenue, other subscription, last but not least, interest income at the moment. They put a total revenue for the fourth quarter of $2.4 billion and $7.8 billion for the whole year 2021, and their operating income was $922 million. As we can see that their net revenue was $2.4 million, other revenue was $8 million, operating income of $922 million, and a net income of $840 million. An excellent growth year over year as well as their revenue. And year over year for the whole year went up from $1.2 billion to $7.8 billion, and their net income from $328 million to $3.6 billion. That's actually very good numbers in my opinion, and I do believe that it is a good company for the long term. Now for their outlook on quarter to date, they have seen a decline in crypto asset volatility and crypto asset prices compared to all-time high levels in quarter 4, which is correlated with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices, as I said at the beginning. But they're expecting crypto market capitalization that is already down over 20%, crypto asset volatility down approximately 10%. These factors are contributing to lower trading volume, and total trading volume is approximately $200 billion. According to this, they believe their retail MTU and total trading volume will both lower in quarter 1 2022 as compared to 2021. For the full year, 2021 was a remarkable year for Coinbase and the crypto economy. They saw a dramatic increase in crypto adoption and significant growth in new use case. I do have to say that at this moment I do not invest in Coinbase. I have been tracking this stock since they went public last year back in April when it opened at about $400, if you guys remember that, and the stock is down 49% since then. I did not invest it at the moment as I believed it was really high, even though I like their business, but I've been waiting for this crash to happen. I'm not adding today nor tomorrow, but I will continue checking these investments as it is kind of a risky investment and I don't want more risk in my portfolio so far. But I do have to say that both companies are very good investments in the long term, both Coinbase and Square. I like both companies. I already invest in Square but not Coinbase. Now I will leave you here a video on what is happening in the stock market with the Ukraine situation, what I think about all this, and what I'm doing with my portfolio at the moment. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you and see you next time.